Grab your rig, hit the trail, the sky is set on fire. Parks on the air, we're activating on a wire. Put your signals in the air, portable power CQ. No shack, just me and you. With your host, Tim, it's a brand new state of mind. No, there's no age limit, just leave the boring behind. Friendly signals for you, we're in the field for a PODA tour. CQ, 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 ham radio, kids table forevermore. We're done with the stagnation, leave the old rules in the past. Come join the revolution or we'll kick your old fat ass. Kids table, yeah, kids table, oh yeah. Not your grandpa's ham radio, we're the future on the air.
Good
Kids
afternoon,
table.
Frank.
Wow.
Already
Yep.
ready. Already, Frank.
Already.
I didn't even get it out of my mouth, and you're. Man. Oh golly. All right. So, who wants to see me flush Frank tonight? Anybody? Let's know. Let us know in the comments. But hey, welcome everybody.
Put
to
a
the
one
Ham
in the chat.
Put a one in the chat. Well, welcome to the Ham Radio Kids Table. We are back from Dayton Hamvention, and man, I'd say what a whirlwind that was. And tonight we've got Brian. He is a fairly new YouTuber, and we met him actually at the More Expo, and was his first Hamvention, and we wanted to get him in here to kind of get some of his perspective. So welcome, Brian.
Thank you, Tim.
We have Mark returning from Boondock Echo.
Did I hear a Boondock Echo?
Echo.
Hi,
And,
Tim.
Also, this was Mark's first
Hamvention, yeah.
Hamvention, not only as a spectator, but also as a vendor too. So we're going to get some of his perspective. Jeff is with us. Jeff was also at Hamvention as a first-time convention goer, and we'll hear some from him. And then we also have Vince, who got to watch everything remotely through utilizing the new live streaming that the Dara Amateur Radio Club was doing on their Hamvention channel, which was kind of cool. We'll talk about that from that perspective. And yes, we have Frank here. So,
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Mark.
how's everybody doing?
Recovering.
Yeah.
Samesies, man. That was an adventure.
The
Yeah.
feet are healing.
Feet are healing. So, Brian, I guess we'll kick it off with you. What was your first impressions of this event as a and you've been licensed for a little while, but this was your first Hamvention, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it's like the Super Bowl of ham radio. It's the mecca that ham radio operators go to and experience the world's biggest show. It was amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Mark, what were your thoughts?
Wow, I have so many. Well, first of all, let me say we had a good time. We got the invite 3 weeks before the show. So we were on the wait list, and we were like number 7 or 8 on the wait list. And, we decided, like, if we're number 8 on the wait list, that means 8 people, the 7 other waitlisters, and the one person has to no-show, has to like call in and say no. So yeah, we're not going. And then they called us. They're like, you want to go? I'm like, heck yeah, we'll go. So it was our first time. We created all the marketing materials, which was a blast. We got it all done so close. There wasn't time to ship. So everything we took, we carried on the plane.
I'm sorry, there wasn't time to what?
Ship.
Oh, with a P. Thank you. Yeah, okay.
With a P.
I mean, it could have been the other. Just
it could have been the other. We didn't have time for that.
If you're busy, you may not have time to do that number 2.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah.
So we carried it all on the plane. We got it there. We got set up. I will tell you a couple lessons I learned, though. One thing I'd heard was that the place becomes a muddy mess in the rain, and that you need to wear boots and shoes that are waterproof and all of that. Otherwise, you're going to have a miserable time. So I took that advice, but I didn't have room for a second set of shoes. So I was wearing my waterproof boots, which aren't the most comfortable thing in the world. I'm not doing that again. I'm going to wear comfy shoes next time. That was a brutal on the feet. And the other thing I like, and I know I've been cautioned not to mention this, but we met so many people and there was no way to capture everybody's contact info that was quick and easy. So all these new people, don't you do it, Jeff. All these new friends that I made, I can't, don't, Jeff, get your finger off that button. All these new friends I made, it's difficult for me to contact. I have to wait till they reach out to me. So that made me sad.
Now, Mark, it's not Jeff you got to worry about with the button. It's Tim, because Tim, he has that trigger finger, and you.
I don't know what he's talking about.
I want to see this.
He just did it. He muted me and then unmuted me. But
Tim has the power. I don't.
And this is maybe something you guys can help us with too. We had a TV, and on the TV there was like it was like a 6-second looping video, but it, fire department and police, and there were these boxes for buttons, and I'll bring up the image in a second. And I had physical buttons, and people could walk up and they could press the buttons, and it would show them a use case for, we had 5 or 6 different use cases, but people were scared to press the button.
You should have had a little label on there that says, you can touch these buttons. It is okay.
I think so. And I was thinking we need like pinball machine, attract mode. So yeah, I saw Chris Brickerhouse. It's overwhelming, the ability to meet so many people. Yes,
but it is.
I got to meet Chris, so that was nice, and his puppy dog, whose name escapes me, but
it's Atlas and his handler Chris.
Atlas and his handler Chris. So yeah, no, we learned a lot. We made a lot of sales, which was good. Made a lot of connections, which was good. I didn't get to experience the show like everybody else because I was working. Right? You guys were there socializing. There's no real place you have to be or go. You just get to go out and hang out with friends. And I missed that aspect. The little time I got to spend with, some of the people I know, it was fantastic. And I wish there was more of that. So.
There is a huge social component to Hamvention, and the one down south that escapes me right now. But I think in some of the other Hamfest, you probably have a little bit more opportunity to get out and kind of venture around a little bit during booth hours, where it is so large between the 5 buildings and everything. I can see that could get you tied up there.
Yeah, and maybe. Hopefully we can get a slightly better location next year. We were in where I guess the Long Island CW Club normally hangs out, and they got promoted to some other building. We didn't know. We were just told somebody canceled and we got a booth. So people were coming by. It's like, where Long Island CW Club is. And we're like, I'm sorry, I don't. We don't even know if they're really here this year. And, and it was just this constant stream of people looking for them. And eventually Long Island, I'd gone to the bathroom and they came by and they're like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, well, we're selling Boondock Echoes. Why are you telling people we aren't here this year? Because you're not.
You're not here where I'm standing.
Yeah. And so this was an interaction with Ricky that was relayed to me. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, Ricky. It's not our responsibility to know where people have moved to. They can always check out the show directory, but eventually they came by and they're like, well, we're at booth, 1607 or whatever it was. And then we would tell people, it was fine, but like how we were supposed to know that, I couldn't even tell you. So,
okay. So real quick, Jimmy, congratulations. Welcome to membership. And Jody, yeah, it was Mark's first Hamvention. Did he run into a smelly ham, or does he think that was all made up? You don't want to know what Mark told me privately.
Okay, so there was a very particular demographic at Hamvention, and I don't know how you change it, but everything benefits from diversity. There are way too many people that look exactly like the people on the call. Middle-aged.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like supermodels with great big long hair and big muscles.
Well, but I mean, I'd pay a nickel to see under the circus tent, Vince. Anyhow,
I'm sure you would have with some of the people there.
but
Vince, don't go there. We had that last night.
but we need more. We need more diversity. We need more females there. They're like
I saw.
One-
I did
one
see
in
a lot.
500.
There
But
was a
like
lot
one
of
in
men there.
500. Yeah.
Yeah, but there were women there. I did see them. I did see the antenna lady that has like the antenna woven into her hair. Someone mentioned her in another live stream or another video at least. I saw a lot of women.
Yeah,
Um,
but percentage wise.
I couldn't tell you the percentage wise, but I did see a lot of women. That's all I know.
So for
so
my
they were there.
perspective in building 4, there were some, but it was like 1 to 100 ratio.
That's only
And-
that one building. You missed the bigger picture there.
Oh, okay. And you know something? Completely possible.
Yep.
Somebody's trying to call me. I'm sorry. I'm just turning that to voicemail. But younger, you know, we had the youth in our building, so that was nice to see. You got to see that, you know, there is future, which is
Utes?
great.
The youths were there.
The youths were there. Everybody though, like everybody, all the booth vendors, a lot of the people they were all super friendly. So that was really nice to see. There were a couple of grumpy Smurfs, but you're going to see that everywhere.
Mhm.
All in all, a really good crowd of people.
Awesome. Grumpy Smurfs.
Grumpy Smurfs.
All right. Well, Jeff, let's get your first impressions of.
Oh my God! I almost died on the way home.
Oh no.
Twice. People need to pay attention how they drive. I tell you that. First was a car, and then there was a tractor trailer tried to merge into my lane. So within like 10, 15 minutes of each other, they must have been talking on the radio or something. It was an adventure, and I would gladly do it again. Lots of people. I told people for the first few weeks up to, or the first weeks or the weeks up to Hamvention. That's what I want to say. I'm a good English speaker person, dude.
Allegedly.
To allegedly, if they see me, come up to me, because I don't know. Like, I never saw Chris Bricker before. I never met Brian before. Pepe, I don't know who he was, but he had his shirt on, so I would have figured that out. I'm just looking at people. I know who Andrew was because I've seen him before. Eric, I didn't know who Eric was, but I'm like, hey, people, just if you see me, come up to me, please, because I'm a bit of an introvert, but I have to be put in the mood, and alcohol used to do it for me to make me an extrovert. But I had I was, like I said earlier, I think before the pre-show, that we were there. We got up early in the morning, and we were there all day. We didn't come back to our Airbnb until the end of the day, late at night sometimes. And I ran on pure adrenaline the entire day. Every day, my shoulders were in pain, my hips were in pain, my feet were kind of in pain too. But I had a great time. It's just, I didn't do a lot of video shooting just because I was trying to experience the whole thing and talk to people. I wanted to be social. So I went and talked to all these people. Saturday night at the Troll Pub, I still had a few special stickers left over. And I want to get rid of these. And I'm like, I'm just going to go up and talk to people. And I started doing that. And then I got stuck talking to people like in one spot. But it's really cool that happened, because we met some great people even at the end of the show there at the Troll Pub.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
But yeah, that was it was huge. There's a lot of people, a lot to take in. There were a lot of vendors there. So if you're going to go as a YouTuber, you kind of need to figure out what you're going to do. You can't really wait until the last minute to figure it out unless you can. But I wrote down everything that I wanted to at least purchase or at least look at, with what I knew who was going to be there and stuff. A lot of that came to people at 4 days in May. I want to say 5 days, but it's 4 days in May. And I wish I kind of did a little bit more of that for the main show itself. But I did meet some people. I may not have gotten everything I wanted, but I'm good with that because I really wasn't looking for lots of stuff. Some of the stuff there was like just as a matter of opportunity. Like ABR, I wanted like the ABR 174 cable or whatever it's called, but they ran out because I didn't get there to like the second day till like Saturday. I'm good with that. I'm not in a rush to get any cable, or even the special deal. I don't mind paying full price for the cable. I'll probably use a discount code or something, but not a big deal. But I wanted to meet vendors. I met a bunch of people, bunch of vendors. I walked up to a bunch of vendors that I didn't really want to meet, but hey, I'm like, hey, I want to go talk to them. Maybe because as a VE, I wanted to go up to ham study people, exam tool / signal stick people, and just introduce myself. Say, hey, I'm a VE. We love your stuff. I love your stuff. And this is how I used it to get to study. Just lots of different people.
Apparently, you were a hoot, according to Robert. W9EGL.
Yeah, apparently I was, and like I said, I'm introverted as fudge, but you get me like in the right condition. Used to be alcohol used to do it for me, but I turned into a very social person, and I did notice that at the show, that just because of the adrenaline going through me, I was just like into meeting everyone, so I had a blast.
Yep.
And I really want to go back again next year, but we shall see.
And Pepe, for people that were asking me, is Pepe at the show? I'm like, just look for the hamster logo. You'll find a Pepe, and I'm sure a lot of people found you, and you found a lot of people.
Yeah.
Who had the best stickers?
I don't know. I know I didn't get everyone's sticker because I probably didn't meet everyone, but there's a lot of good ones. I went through them once. I'll probably do a video, just like a quick, like, here are the stickers I got. I got like 2 poker chips. That was pretty cool. I got a few patches.
Oh, challenge coins.
No, they weren't challenge coins. They were poker chips.
I've seen that a few times. They're actual customized poker chips where.
Yeah, one was actually, it felt like a poker chip. It was like the heavy clay material. The other one was still heavy, but it seemed to me made out some kind of like maybe 3D printed with something inside of it. I don't know. I couldn't find it when I got home. Like then I finally found it. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I threw it in my DX engineering bag with everything else. Hey, Brent.
You said don't get into a hotel, Jeff.
Yeah.
So, Tim, EOD Kaboom wants to know, did everyone get one of his stickers?
No, I didn't see him at all. Were you there?
He wasn't there.
Tim wasn't there, but GM FEP Labs had stickers. So
why the hell someone tell me?
He
So
might
I gave Jim one of mine, and then he gave me one of his.
I saw Jim briefly Thursday night. I saw Ape from across the room, and then I never saw him again the whole time.
Yeah.
I think Jim stayed in the parking lot the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of weird because they had like, well, I won't call them like big vendors. They're not like ICOM, Yasu, but still, they were still the small people, and there's plenty of small people inside the main buildings and even the smaller buildings. But they had a tent, and I did go outside, but I didn't walk around like the boneyard or anything. But I went out to the Poe tent just to mess with people. I wanted to walk up to the table, go like, "What's this about POTA?
Yeah.
Can I do it in a city park down the street from me?" But they were too busy. But I did see Curtis. Curtis saw me. He was busy talking. He like threw his hand out. So I was like, cool, dude. But I moved on and talked to a bunch of people like next door to them. I think they had a sitting area. And I was talking to a bunch of people there. Ran into Josh K8. Woo! And I did that, and someone goes, "Is that a new PO thing?" I'm like, "No, it's his call sign."
Oh, we had fun. And speaking of Woo, what is her name?
Caitlin.
Yeah,
Caitlin.
Yeah,
There's another Caitlin.
yeah. It was
And-
K8 WHO.
yeah,
Yeah.
KEAWHO, and then, or no, she's a 9, but yeah,
Oh, it's a 9. Okay.
yeah, and but so yeah, so we had the Woo and the Who side by side, and there was it's kind of funny.
Is Caitlin Mike's gal pal, or is that a
That's
different
a
name?
Two different Caitlins.
Different Caitlin. Okay. So, but yeah, it was a really, really tiring event. If anybody goes, take comfortable shoes. I don't know about the whole muddy mess thing, but that was not my experience at all.
No, it rained on Saturday, but it was only for a little bit, and it might have literally poured in the morning. That was on Sunday morning, but Saturday it didn't pour that I can remember. It lightly rained, and only for like a little bit, and it really wasn't that bad unless you're in the boneyard. But I don't know what that was like because I didn't go out there.
And I think that statement, Mark, is made from the perspective of people going out into the boneyard because of the track is dirt and clay.
Right, which
And
makes sense. And I just got to look at a little bit of what people had on Thursday. It wasn't set up when I went out, and it hadn't rained at all when I went out. So,
No,
but I'm going to choose comfort next time.
yeah.
Definitely
sure-
the indoor vendors were dry and they were
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and it's the only other thing that may be a problem, and not necessarily a big deal for vendors, is if you do have to park further out. Now they've got shuttles going back and forth, the large golf carts and everything. It could get a little wet out there, a little muddy out there in the field.
Always bring a rain jacket and maybe an umbrella, depending on the rain jacket.
Yeah.
I packed a rain jacket. So glad I did. I had umbrella in my car already, so I was good.
I also got a little SUV, a RAV4, because we also had this 50-inch TV I picked up at Walmart and we gave away. And people were saying, yeah, you can get stuck in the mud, man. I couldn't see how I could have possibly gotten stuck.
It wasn't that
No.
muddy. Depending where you're at, it was not that muddy.
Were you
But
parking on property
Sunday-
in the back, Mark?
What's that?
Were you able to park on property in the back?
Yeah. I was pretty close. It was fine. But I also heard that, and I heard, there can be thunderstorms and hail coming through. So all these things I was worried about. So I got the comprehensive coverage on the car and totally didn't need it. So what we did on the drive back to the airport was, we went looking for potholes. I was doing speed bumps at 25, we had a good time. It's okay though. We had comprehensive. So
Should have found a good off-roading spot. I'm sure Andrew would have given you a good spot to go to and go off-roading with it.
Mark, I have a feeling that Ohio comprehensive coverage is not the same as California comprehensive coverage.
I would imagine,
Yeah.
I would imagine but yeah, that was a trip, but it was good. Like I said, we met a ton of hams. We made a ton of new potential customers. We're going to do a thing now. If any hams out there are watching, we're going to talk I have a meeting with my team in an hour from now, and we're going to talk about sponsoring some videos for the ham channels. So talking to some hammers, like Tim and Vince, everybody here who might be interested. We'll have to budget it and see how much we can afford and all that. But basically ask you guys to make some videos promoting us and see what happens with it.
Awesome.
So yeah, if anybody's interested out there in TV land, because I see some other people out there too who I'd love for them to play with it. Let me know and we can talk up either a pay for video or a pay for promotion thing where, like we did in May, that wasn't as successful as I'd hoped, where people would get a discount code and then the tuber would get some money out of it. Like Grayman did that with us. And by the way, we still got to square up with you on that. I remember you said you don't want money, but we'll figure out what we're going to do.
Oh,
Because
we'll put it into a kit to give away or something.
okay. Yeah, but let's not forget that because I still owe you a couple bucks.
Yeah.
For your conversions.
I'm reading this thing back there where Brickhouse is asking Jody if he's going to be a part of the new Tin Land when Canada becomes part of it.
No. Okay, hold on. So there was a bit of back and forth here. Jody said 9 sounds better than 8. Is there a Tin Land? I said, Jody, sure, it can all be the VEs, VAs, winky face. And then Bricker House came in 2 minutes later and said, you will be the new Tin Land when Canada becomes a part of the U.S.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll add another number, another digit to the U.S. call signs.
Oh well.
So
Who here does 3D printing? Jeff, do you guys sell your 3D prints?
I
Why
tried
would I
to.
sell that stuff? Why would I sell that? I'm
I
printing
don't
stuff
know.
for myself.
I tried to. That's just a great plug. Hey, look what I just printed.
Oh boy.
What I just modeled and printed.
Was
And
it
you're
like,
what is that?
scraper?
It's a little stick.
Is that a coffee?
toothpick?
A
It's
coffee
little
stir?
stick. No, it's an extension arm for a Vibroplex Lightning. Because this is too fast for me because I suck at CW. It's like the first thing I did. I was like, oh, that's too fast. Let me fix that.
Here's my print job just recently. A UV,
Ooh.
the 878 UV2
Nice.
plus little holder for the desk.
Oh, and it articulates and everything. That's
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And it's got holes so you can drill it right into the desk.
Yes.
Oh, your wife's gonna love that.
She already loves where all my gear is at. So, we're gonna have to work on empty nesting the kids so I can invade their room and get a shack set up. So
All you need is a garden hose and a cold winter day. They'll run right out. So Broke Ham, we met for the first time at Hamvention.
Yes.
That was nice, man.
And I brought my non-ham friend, which was actually great to get some perspective from somebody who wasn't a ham.
What did your non-ham friend think?
He really liked it. And then it's funny, you were talking about before about the the diversity thing. And I'm like, you really see people from all over the world. Like, you'll be walking around and hear some different language that you didn't know.
For sure.
But if you look around, it's all 90% middle-aged white guys. And it's funny because I said the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's
So,
true. But yeah, there's Pepe was the first person outside of the country I met. There, I did see a bunch of Japanese people. There was a vendor that was a Japanese company, maybe two, and there were some other random ones walking around.
I believe
And a Scottish person. Scottish person.
Jay.
Oh, you didn't go to the back corner of Building 3 then, because the guys from Ciro Mazzoni were there
Yeah.
from Italy.
Yeah, and I didn't, yeah,
was there.
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I
Yeah.
think I remember seeing them.
But his biggest thing was just that, everybody was so nice and welcoming.
Yep.
So that made me feel good.
Yeah, everyone was really nice.
I was like, you haven't met the sad hams yet. It'll happen.
It'll
So
happen.
some of them passed by our booth.
Yeah.
I had these really arrogant. They were intentionally arrogant. It was satire that I was handing out that said, this is the best day of your life. You've now met me, or it was just
Tim.
being obnoxious.
Tim, share my screen real quick.
And people would, some people would walk by and take it and say thank you. Some people would say no thank you, and some people would, honest to God,
That's funny.
avert their gaze while they walk by. I'll read it to you if you guys are on something small. This collectible card certifies that for a brief but pivotal moment in your life, you are in the physical presence of amateur radio operator KE6WOB. Preserve it behind glass and protect it from the elements so that generations from this is one of the previous ones. Generations from now, your descendants may live vicariously through the greatest accomplishment of your lifetime. To maximize the monetary value of this is too small for me to read, of this historical artifact and establish incontrovertible provenance, take a photograph while holding this card and post it to all of your social media channels with the hashtag Hamvention and Boondock Echo.
Yeah.
So that was one of the previous versions. I changed it to preserve it behind glass and hang it as you would any piece of fine art in your home. And I got a few people sending it back, where this one guy, he took out a picture on his desk. He took out the picture of his daughter and put this in instead. It was great.
Mark, no wonder you did not have time to get your ship done.
All right.
And yes, I said that with a papa, not a tango. Okay. My Canadian accent messed it up. Well,
And then we had these
Too
great
bad for you.
stickers
boot.
that should be the new ham radio slogan, which says, it's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and not need it.
You're welcome.
That is a good one.
So we had a lot of hooks. Oh, and then the greatest, the best thing we had, this was a lot of fun. I had this raffle. So like most raffles, right? You get a ticket, you keep a ticket, somebody pulls it out at the end, and your chances depend on how many people enter. And I'm like, well, that kind of sucks. I want everybody to have the same chance of winning. So I had this velvet bag, and it's a magic bag. And in it, I put 99 black tokens, and then I let them put one colored token in. And if they reach in the bag and they pull it out, they win. So everybody had a 1 in 100 chance of winning. It's a magic bag. There's two sides to the pouch. So what I did was on one side, exactly what I said.
We're not going to get like the Magicians Union or anything coming down on us because you're giving away secrets, are you?
They'll come down on me. It'll be fine.
I don't want us associated with that, Mark. We don't need the bad press.
Okay, just listen.
Here's what I think Mark's going to get dropped before I do.
If you reached in and you reached in, the side that you were reaching in had 10 colored tokens and 10 black tokens. So you had a 50-50 chance every time you enter the raffle. And we gave away good stuff. We gave away like a golf range finder. We gave away Jet KVM. Sometimes we would give away, candies and stuff, but we were giving away POC radios. We gave away some pretty good stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah. So I was cheating, but I was cheating to improve the odds for people.
Well, there you go.
So
cheating for good.
Yeah. James says, "Don't mess with Magic Mark there."
Hey, so Tim, how was it for you, man?
It was great. We like Jeff had mentioned, it was long in the sense that it just was every day, bright and early in the morning. Matter of fact, I know when Mike, Kevin, Kevim, and Jeff and I had a Airbnb. They're like, well, what time we need to get up and get moving? I'm like, I don't know, 6 a.m. They both went like that. But I think we got out of the house every day, 7:15 ish, and got over there. So
no, we got out of the house a lot later, like 8 o'clock at least minimum.
The lady at the media booth said, if you don't get in there by 4 a.m., you're not going to get a parking spot, and that kind of freaked me out the first Friday there. When I pulled in for the first day of the show. So yeah, I got up at the wee hour of the morning. It wasn't bad. I got up at 6 a.m. to get in there, but it was not the case. It was not bad getting in that early. So yeah.
Good show. I would get in there and I get into building 1, and it would be 4 hours before I got to the far side of building 1, because where I went, I stopped and talked to people, and it was great. I mean, I was perfectly fine with it. Most of the commercial buildings, I wasn't overly concerned with. It's all stuff that we see all the time. Some insider access to things. We get to see it sometimes a little bit in advance.
What, like Thursday?
Like Thursday, yeah. Exactly right.
Well, so, I did like Thursday because we did walk around. We did talk to a few people. We talked to Ray Novak from ICOM. Really nice guy. I was really nice to meet him face to face. We had him on the show before.
Yeah.
His buddy there, Lloyd, he was a nice guy. I think it was Scott. We saw Steve from Alpha Antenna for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's just like, you've seen these people before and met them before, and I haven't, but it was nice to meet these people while going around and stuff. So
Tim does a great job of helping us guys get introduced to people he knows. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I have been, I think I jokingly said that. There are times,
yeah, you were.
Sometimes I just assume that when two people are standing next to me that they know each other. And then I forget that they may not. So, I was going out of my way to try to make connections.
You did a good job
to people.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes just a little more from a humorous, annoying standpoint, because I think I introduced some people that I knew each other just for the heck of it.
Yeah,
So,
it was kind of funny sometimes.
Quirky James has a good point here. If you don't want to miss anything good at Hamvention, it's best to just sleep in a bivy sack and ghillie suit in the corner of the parking lot field.
There you go.
Yeah.
I really
If-
wanted to just pop up my rooftop in the volunteer section and sleep there, but I think they were going to frown upon that. So
Can I take a moment just to give a shout out to the Dayton Amateur Radio Association? The band,
Yeah.
you don't know how much work goes into one of those things until you see it in person. And
Yep.
these guys are all volunteers doing that crap for free. So the rest of us can
100%.
so we can have a good time. Are you
Yep.
kidding me? I don't know where I would find that many good people in the world. And they happen to have them all in Dayton doing that. So,
I wonder if you're a member of that club that you have to fulfill a club need to be there at least for like a little bit, at least for one day. Maybe I don't know. It does require a lot of people to do that stuff, and they did a heck of a job. For my first time there, I saw everything run pretty smoothly for the most part. I know I did hear of one bad incident, but it was on someone's video I saw today. But
I'd say you get that
they
many
need the
people
people
in that close of an environment, somebody's gonna be unhappy about something. So
oh yeah, I'm sure there was like more incidences, but
are you
but
talking
for most-
about the scooter and the kid?
no, I don't know about that, but I'm sure there's some bad incidents happen. But to have those many people volunteer, they really need to say you kind of need to be here to help us out with this. We're putting this on for the benefit of every amateur radio operator in the world that's coming. So I would think that they might have, if you want to be part of this group, then you kind of need to help us out. I mean, because you go to some clubs and they're like, anybody want to go help this bike race down in this other state? And people are like,
Yeah.
nope.
Hey, we do the flying pig every year, and this was the first year, it's my second year doing it, but we really had to struggle to like fulfill all the roles.
Yeah.
And we were like out there begging for people to come volunteer.
But even organizing, first of all, you're right. Getting willing volunteers is good luck. But then once you have them, even just organizing an event of that magnitude takes some real skill. I don't know who's responsible. It can't be one guy. It's got to be hundreds of people.
I'm sure
But
it's like
kudos to them.
a past education skill that they've passed on to each person like every year.
Yeah.
They might have one person that does it for a few years and then moves on and someone else picks it up, but I'm sure I'm going to take a wild stab at it. I'm going to say I believe that they probably have a good program on how to deal with this, to handle this. They've been doing it for I don't know how long, a long time.
Jody has the good comment here. He pulled this info last week. DARA has 525 voting members, approximately 700 total members, an additional 750 volunteers from surrounding clubs.
Wow.
I'm sure they have.
And that number does not include the Boy Scout troop that shows up on Saturday morning and Sunday and Friday morning to help park cars. The Girl Scouts who come out and help with other things. Like there are many other teams that circle around to help these guys out. It's a humongous thing, right?
And and 750, roughly 750 volunteers from surrounding clubs and other hams. I'm sure they do call out for people like, hey, we're running this, and if you want it to be successful forever, or this year at least, please help us out. So I'm sure there's some kind of incentive. Maybe it's a regional thing or a more local thing that's saying, hey, this is our thing. We're putting on Hamvention. We need to make it the best every year. So I am sure there are people out there that do this stuff.
I would think that with Hamvention probably being the premier hamfest, at least of North America, they have a long list of people who want to volunteer. The same thing with Orlando. I mean, they do a great job down there, and they have, I'm sure, people from other clubs, because in some cases, I know Orlando does it specifically. They'll be like, hey, you're going to come to the show anyways. We'll give you a free pass if you want to come do a volunteer shift, right?
I'm sure they do that. I think it was as either like the light red or orange, whatever color that was. I think it was light red.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention the volunteers at work, but they also the speakers, all the people that come in to volunteer outside of, just putting on the show itself. I mean, the actual people who come in and talk. I mean, that's a whole nother.
The moderators. Yeah, that's a separate
Moderators.
committee on its own. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
just think about, like, let's say I've got a club that's got 250 members in it, and I make them available to you, the event organizer, Tim. Hey, I got 250 volunteers for you. Where do you want them?
Yeah.
Logistics.
Oh yeah.
I totally agree, and I wasn't paying attention. You said it earlier that it's institutional knowledge, it's learned experience that's passed down year to year. It has to be for something that.
Yeah, because the amount of work that goes into that, you just can't say, okay, I'll do it this year or this coming year, and know what to do. I'm sure they've documented stuff like how to handle task A, B, C, or D, or how to prepare for whatever. They have to do that. I mean, it's the amount of effort it goes into putting these shows on, and then running the show.
What's this?
Is insane.
Well, I also overheard in building 4 where I was, we ordered internet and we didn't have it. So some guy had to come in and it was a volunteer, and they had qualified him to run all the heavy equipment, the forklifts, the skyjacks. It's not just like, here's the keys, go do it, but they have to do it in a safe manner. And I'm like, so it was impressive.
I experienced some hospitality from one of the members of DARA. He walked up, and his name is Roman, WU8R. And he came up to me and he's like, hey, you and whoever else wants to come by the headquarters or the main clubhouse in Dayton on Saturday. They're having kind of an open house, and there's food and drinks, and we'd love to have you and come out and you can see the place. I guess their building is pretty stellar, and they got an antenna farm out there with 120-foot tower and like a 90-foot and a 75-foot tower, something like that. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty impressive. I didn't get to make it out there because I had conflict in schedules, but those guys are super friendly, and we appreciate all they did for the Hamvention and for the extra hospitality they provided.
Every time I walked by the Dara table, and I walked by them probably 7 or 8 times, they were like, hey, how you doing? How's the show going? They were like happy to talk to me. And, like once is like whatever, like, especially on day 1, but like day 3, they're still like that chipper and nice and talking to you. Like it's definitely a good group of guys.
For sure. It was largely the same guys the whole time hanging out there. We were across from them. Our booth was right behind them.
Which is why I didn't see you the first day. It's because every time I walked by them, I would be looking at them talking. And then the second day I had my buddy, and I was like, oh, hey, there's Mark.
Yeah. So I did want to say, when I was talking a little bit ago about the commercial vendors, they're ones that we see all the time. What I really liked, and I'm going to do this here, and he's actually in the chat, is this is an antenna that I picked up. It's
embiggen yourself, Tim.
Oh golly.
Come on. What kind of host are you?
It is a big antenna made by Brent. Brent's here in the chat. And these are the kind of things that I really enjoy seeing at Hamvention. These are the homebrew things where, mom and pop shops are out doing things and making product. And, it's those little things that make a difference in amateur radio. See, Jeff's got his. There you go. Look at that thing.
Go use those whack sad hams with.
That's right.
Jeff, is that an antenna, or are you just happy to see us?
Hey,
it's an antenna.
Hey, Jeff.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Hand that antenna up to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, the simple things that keep us amused.
Well, but it's those things. So the vendor night at 4 Days in May, which I think is safe to say is kind of the official kickoff of Hamvention, where everybody just comes in there. Mark, that was your first one, and Brian, what did you guys think about that room of people?
Overwhelming.
Before
It
we
was
dive
asked
into
us to,
that,
yeah.
Brent says he's making one now, number 6 ordered since Xenia.
Awesome. Hey, Brent, how do people get a hold of you if they're interested in one of these antennas?
Brent will let us know that.
Yeah, while he let us know that, we can go back to Mark and Brian. I had to bring that up.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Good experience for me. It was cram packed in there, asses to elbows, and you had to navigate your way through the crowd to get what you wanted to see. And sometimes you just had to pass the table by because the guys and gals were hovering over it, and that's all good. That just means business was good, and there were a lot of representation for QRP lovers out there. So
yeah,
I dug it. Room could have been bigger.
Yeah, 4 days in May is it's a QRP event. It's part of a
it's part of the QRP ARCI's national conference.
Thank you, Vince.
And so on Thursday they have a whole raft of guest speakers. On Thursday evening they have vendor night. On Friday evening they usually have some sort of a contest and a build. I can't remember what this year's was. And on Saturday night they have their gala and wrap up dinner.
Yep.
And that's
the room could have been bigger. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
They
the
did
room's
have
never big enough.
Yeah. With the vendors they had there, I think it fit them, but when you add all the people that are going through there, it's just way too small for all those people.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times they've had like the fire marshal called or something, or they came in to check just for the giggles, like, oh yeah, they got this event there, we gotta go check it out.
The air was thick.
One thing I saw there, and I almost said something and I chose not to, but one of the vendors, I think he had his parents helping him, and the dad was wearing a very obvious political hat. And I'm like, buddy, I mean, you're going to alienate half your customers. There's no winning when you get into politics as a vendor.
That's true. Although let's be happy that they had clothes on, right? And
this is true.
Normal clothes?
Just clothes.
Let's just stop talking about it.
Let's just this clothes. So, but yeah, it was so Brian, out of curiosity, from your former professional career, how did that make you feel, that room?
Yeah. So if people don't know out there, I was a firefighter for 30 years and also did fire inspections and arson investigation and all that stuff. And that was a potential disaster just waiting to happen. You know, somebody gets hurt out in the crowd and nobody knows it. And yeah, but it was packed, and it could have been a little dangerous, you know, if we needed to get out fast. But
well, with that many people, you'd think about like the HVAC system of like, can it cool all those people? And I think it did fine. I didn't not feel uncomfortable. I felt a little squished and stuff.
I was warm. The air was thick.
Yeah.
I think it's the adrenaline in me. I was just talking to people and meeting people and looking at their stuff.
Yeah. And
then passing up stuff. And yeah.
There was one exit, one side of the wall had the exit. So and correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see any other exits. There
was one on the side where right behind Spool Antenna was.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that because I saw someone come in or walk by from behind them while I was talking to them.
Yeah, there were exits on all four doors, all four walls.
Yeah,
I just couldn't see them.
Yeah, yeah.
So many
There's a lot of people.
There we go.
Yeah.
There are exits on four sides of that room. It's just they don't open them all.
Oh. And that makes Brian itchy, and I don't blame him.
Yeah, and that just makes Vince hot.
Yeah. I got out at like
a couple times.
The
couple of times I've been in there, I'm just like, oh damn, will this end? Like, what happened to the air
I always look for the exits wherever I go. It's my situational awareness kind of thing. I'm looking for the exits.
Totally.
What's open, what's not open. Hoping that the ones that are not open are actually not locked. But normally it's you push to go out, so they shouldn't be locked going out, but going in maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's still plenty of times when there's been like flashover events and you just get people all crowding towards people go out the way they came in,
Yeah.
and they all
Yeah, you
crowd and
guys should
crash,
see that.
get stamped.
Look up the fire that happened in the bar with Great White Plane.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they had some pyrotechnics going off in the bar, and it lit up the foam ceiling, and it was instant black soot smoke, and so many people perished in that. But yeah, big crowds, but
So
there wasn't any flames happening, there was no pyrotechnics, so I wasn't too concerned.
Well,
I was more
if-
I cracked up a little bit when I walked in, because immediately I thought, well, if we don't have the hantavirus or whatever that is, we might have it after tonight, because everybody was rubbing up against each other and breathing each other's air.
I'm sure it would get a little hotter if it was a QRO conference. Just saying.
There we go.
And
But,
I'll say this: there was a fire somehow. Everybody whipping those wallets out so fast, that creates a good bit of friction.
That's right. Hans was up there going, "Make it rain, make it rain."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those Pico paddles went quite fast.
yeah.
They usually do. I had a table last year and I sold out, and I brought 40 of the item that I had. They were gone.
Vince was like, Vince didn't know what he was. Vince thought he was a stripper on stage. They were throwing so much money at him.
Damn.
I'm kind of, while I would have loved to make more money, I'm kind of glad we didn't do that, because that would have been overwhelming to do another setup.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, you pick your audience too, right?
Yeah.
That's for your product, Mark. That's not the
It's not
audience.
the right,
there.
it's not the right
Not-
audience.
Not a bad place to go just for a little bit of awareness and set up an informational booth and
Yeah.
say, come and see us in building 4,
Well, if we go
But-
back and finish developing our Morse decoder, it would be, but we
Yes.
haven't touched that in a year and a half, because there hasn't been enough call and demand for it.
Well,
So-
now there's time now that you think about it. So
Yeah.
And
what do you think?
Mark, I gotta know, was it 4 to 5 or 45 online orders that got completed?
No, we sold in person. I brought 50 of each, and we brought home, I'd have to go look. It's like 5 and 7.
But
So-
remember, you mentioned that there were some credit card transactions or something, or
Yeah, we
like
also
4 to
sold
5.
here.
So
Yeah,
I
Ricky's going to be giving me the final numbers here in 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So
Oh, good. Yeah.
we did okay. I wish we would have taken more product. I wish we would have done a little more with the booth, like put up a black background or something instead of the blue, the tape and curtain thing. But for what we did and the time we did, I'm really happy with what we did.
Yeah, no, that's great. If you got your ship together that quick, I mean, that's perfect. You floated on the water and everything worked out well.
Exactly.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, so in the last few minutes that we've got left, Brian, what would you do differently next year? Going to the
Yes.
show. Yeah. What do you think you'll do differently? You with me?
Oh,
Brian is locked up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
perfect timing.
I'll go then if you want.
yeah.
We would ship all of our stuff. We're not going to haul crap through like we had suitcases loaded up to 49.8 pounds,
Mhm.
and I was hauling 3 of them. Never doing that again. It's going on a pallet. It's getting shipped ahead of time.
Awesome. Jeff, what about you? What do you think you would do differently going your second time out to Dayton Hamvention?
Definitely got to figure a better way to carry stuff. I like the idea that you had it, Josh had it, chest rig. I got something already that I've already had that I didn't think about, but I wish it had a little bit more to it. It's a possibility. I have to look for the future. Definitely more exercising to help those muscles that I did not know that I would be using that much. I know I was going to be walking. My feet weren't that bad. It was really my hips of carrying like the backpack with me and what I had in there, and my shoulders from the backpack pulling down. But other than that, I think I need to sort out who I would go visit first and make them a priority.
I appreciate that, Jeff. I look forward to seeing you.
You're welcome. There was some very, like I said earlier about ABR, but it's all good. Just to to figure out like my priorities. You always got to triage stuff and prioritize what you're going to do. Like with work, I'm specialized with work. I've been doing it for so long that you kind of got to figure out what's most important to you and what you need to do. And then if you're going to study the map, that's one thing to do too, to find out where everyone's located. I was just kind of walking around like, oh, look, they're over there. And okay, I got to go over that other boat, see what's over there. And oh, they're over there. But yeah, maybe learning where everyone's at beforehand and kind of noting that down.
The Hamvention has an app for Android and iPhone.
Yep.
Download it, mark stuff. It's a good little app.
Yep.
Check your hourly prizes.
Yep.
There you go. Hey, Brian, you froze up on us. The question was, what would you do differently next year going into to your second Hamvention? Now, knowing what you know now.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry about cutting out. Lessons learned. Next time we do this, I'm running a Cat 6 cable up here and plugging in. But so much for gigabit internet. But let's see, lessons learned. I'd like to camp closer. I was at Caesar Ford Campground, and it's a new, beautiful campground out there. It was just super quiet. I loved it, but I wish I was closer. I was 15 minutes out, which doesn't help for wanting to hang out with the guys and do some fellowship stuff where you're doing network and whatnot. You think about that drive home. So I didn't want to drink. I didn't want to risk getting hurt or getting somebody else hurt driving out there, obviously. But I want to bring a Meshtastic device out there and get plugged in. So I've been a ham radio operator for 30 plus years, but it's one of the typical things where I was a ham plus when I got the license, and then I put it down forever and had my career and kids and everything. So I got general and extra just a few years ago. So I'm trying to catch up to all the technology. It's like if you would have put me in a time capsule and then opened me up 33 years later, and I had to see all the technology around, and now I'm playing catch up. So that's one of the things I bought at Hamvention, the Pocket Ranger, Pocket Ranger from Low Mesh.
Yeah,
I got that. So yeah, just be a little bit more prepared for that, so I can be more plugged into the social circle. I would like to, just be prepared weather-wise. Maybe have an extra coat. I got a story because I got Thursday. I was out there, and everybody that was out there knew that it was like in the 40s in the mornings, right? So I wore my coat on Thursday to do the walk around, and then I got warm and I set it down as I was sitting waiting for my buddy to get back from somewhere. And I left that coat sitting on the bench overnight, and I found out the hard way when I woke up in the morning and I had to break down my truck, and I had no coat. It was like 41 degrees out. So yeah, just be a little bit more prepared. Bring a sweatshirt.
Did you recover the coat?
Yeah, I did. We came back Friday, and I wanted to make sure I got there before the place opened up, and there it was setting. And so it was perfect. It was setting right where it belonged. But yeah, I want to plan to attend the contesting university next year. I'm sorry I missed that. There were some guys that was going up there to that, and I heard it's a stellar learning experience. So I want to do that.
It is. And once again, you can catch those videos on YouTube.
Good. Excellent.
Yes. Awesome. Well, we are winding down here, Ham Nation. I'm being told in my ear that Ham Nation is live tonight. So I'm sure we will get a perspective from those guys and Josh on their experiences out at Hamcation.
Hamvention.
Yeah, that too. It's pronounced. I've heard it pronounced both ways, but
I've got a real quick one, Tim, that I'm going to slide in here. My latest video series on the ZBit XV2 is now up on my YouTube channel, and I did the same kind of overview that I did with the ZBit XV1 last year, where I showed people, the differences between the two. Here's the plastics from the old one and the new one, so you can kind of see how close they are. The new one's a little bit bigger. Anyway, go see my channel. Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I've dropped everyone's links in chat, so you have no excuse not to sub to everyone if you haven't already. And go tell Hamvention Hamvention, yeah, there we go. Ham Nation that the Ham Radio Kids table sent y'all.
And if you guys haven't, do do subscribe to Brian's channel. He's got some great videos out there, and nice scenic videos that he does when he's out doing CW, kind of in a calm way, kind of like Thomas or anybody else that does that kind of style video. You'll really like it. And
I'm a growing channel. I appreciate the subscriptions.
Yeah, and Brent, it was great to meet you too. And did we put anywhere? How can people get a hold of you, Brent?
Brent never said, so he'll have to come back next week and tell us.
There we go. All right, guys. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy the rest of the week. Go watch Ham Nation, and we will talk to everybody later. 73.
See ya.
Later.
33.